Almighty back in the building was good. Yo, shout out to the sponsors of Snowgoons, Creative Juices Music, Elite Sound International, Blazing Up Radio, Smiley the Ghetto Child, Final Frontier. There's a whole list of sponsors. Shout out to everybody, yo. Shout out to Generation, happy birthday, the fam, you know what I mean? Give her a little shout out. We got the homie Beau Fat on the show tonight, yo. He just dropped the ill shit, man. Deadly Duos and a whole bunch of other shit, man. Y'all definitely gotta check that out. Peace, peace. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in and whatnot. We're gonna start the show off in just a second. We're gonna get the homie up in here and whatnot. Make sure to go wish the homie Generation a happy birthday too, you know what I mean? Holiday, DJ Illegal, you know what I mean? The family shit, ID and shit, you know what I mean? We got some special announcements too. We're gonna get to that though. Yo, what's good?
Hey, what's good, bro? How's it going?
Chillin', chillin', man, chillin'. Same old, you know what I mean? Same shit in New York, different day.
Yeah. So that's where you at in New York?
Yep, yes, sir.
That's dope, man. I've been to New York in like 1997.
Well, it's cold as fuck out here, man. It is cold. I'm pretty
Cold
sure y'all
already?
get it.
Yeah, here too. Oh shit. Oh shit. Wait a second.
We
Just fell
just
down.
straight skip through. We skip through fall and whatnot. I guess we're like already in the winter. Like it's fucking weird as fuck. Like
Yeah. Yeah, here too, man. It's getting it. We had a real hot summer, but now I mean it's just October and it's already cold as fuck here too, man.
mm,
All right, that's it.
no
Cool.
doubt, no doubt. So best let's get right into it, man. But it's good to finally meet you face to face and shit. You know what I mean? I've been seeing you drop all over the place. You got plenty of hits.
Oh, yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I'm working. I'm keep working and shit, you know.
Yeah, yeah, nah, no doubt, no doubt. So, bet let's get into it, man. I got some couple of questions to keep you on your toes and shit. You know what I mean? See where your head is at with some of this stuff. So, first off, I don't know if anybody's asked you this question before, but I think I threw it out there. So, where did you come up with the name Beau Fat?
All right. Beau Fat is actually Cantonese, so it's not Beau Fat, it's Beau Fat. Beau Fat is actually two words, and it means something like to oh damn, there's like some certain words, you know. As usual, I don't get it, but it basically means something like if you preserve something, something. Oh damn, what's the word? If you preserve something like something valuable, like you know, something with deep traditions and stuff like that, you know, like that's basically the meaning. So I got it because I'm also heavily into martial arts, and I helped a friend, a Chinese friend, with a book he wrote because he found out that one of his grand uncles or something wrote a book in the like 1920s or something like that, and he found out about it, and then so he made a updated version of that book, right? So now I helped him with some stuff, with some articles, some old articles, and some other stuff. And so because the book is written in English and Chinese, so English readers can read it and Chinese people can read it, and so since you cannot properly translate my normal name into Chinese, he gave me a Chinese name, which was Beau Fat, you know. So
No doubt.
it kind of sounds like my real name a little bit, and so he used that for the Chinese writing, right? And it means, like I said, to preserve something precious. That's it. That's the word. Yeah. So
No doubt.
and when I got into producing, you know, basically I used to rap in the 90s. You know, I was more into rapping, but I always was like sample digging and stuff. So I always gave my producer samples to make beats with, you know. So and when I stopped rapping and I started to produce, that was like early 2000, like 2002 or three. By then I just didn't even give myself a name for a producer name because I just was making beats, but I wasn't like really working with it. So until I started to work heavily with other rappers, I didn't have a name. So when it came to the point that I needed a name, I was thinking, how should I just use my old rap name, you know? But then I came up with the idea, oh shit, no, I just used the name Beau Fat, you know, because it kind of it's kind of me, you know, because it's, you know, I'm into martial arts. I got a little school here where I teach, and so it all kind of fits together, you know. I mean, I'm like a big martial art movie freak too, you know. So it all kind of fits, you know.
No
So that's
doubt.
how I came up.
Speaking of that, I see the kung fu flick in the background. That shit had me
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
distracted for a minute. I was trying to figure out what you had playing in the back. Word.
Prodigal Son. It's called Prodigal Son.
Oh shit. Word. You know what I'm saying? See that's the one thing I loved about your production. For those who are a fan of your music, you know what I mean? It's like you definitely are into the sample bank of the with martial arts, I should say, and you give that kind of vibe off in your production. So I mean personally, I love it. I'm a kung fu head. You know what I'm saying? And when I actually watched, I had the pleasure of watching you with the family, the Snowgoons, when y'all was doing the live that one time, and you were discussing with them actually that you do martial arts. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is a lifestyle. So that shit is awesome. It works. It works with the hip hop too, just knowing that. But that shit is dope. So to kind of segue more into that now in that direction. So I know this might be a hard thing to really like break down, but if you had three of your favorite movies, what would it be from the martial arts section?
Martial arts movies, yeah, man. That's really hard because it would be probably the same if you asked me what are my three favorite hip hop albums, you know. So it's sometimes also depending on my mood and stuff. But if you say my three, so there gotta be, because I'm gonna go old school then, right? So I definitely would put a movie called The Magnificent Butcher in there. Uh,
Magnificent Butcher.
yeah, yeah. So this one is with like actor called Sammo Hung. Sammo Hung. Yeah, I see. Yeah, Sammo Hung. Hong Campo is his Chinese name. Sammo Hung, the big guy, right? So he used to do a lot of dope movies in the 70s and the 80s and shit, you know. So definitely that one. Another one would be called Challenge of the Masters. This one is with Lau Gale, who did a whole lot of dope movies, and he's the one who did 36 Chambers of Shaolin, aka Master Killer. You know, he did that one. But my favorite is actually Challenge of the Masters, which is a little bit older than that one. No, because you gotta. But actually, all his movies are dope. You know, so because he's actually a real master in that same style that I practice. You know, so that's I always loved his movies. But yeah. Oh, which one? With what? Third one. A third one. I would say, you know, I also, and this is weird to some people, but some like old school martial art movies freaks, they're like that too. And I'm like, I really like. I don't know why I like those because most of the times they're corny, but I like those fake Bruce Lee movies. They call them Bruce exploitation movies.
Oh, shit.
They got a whole genre named after that. It's called Bruce exploitation. So it's because
Yeah.
it's all these Bruce Lee copycats, and there's one specific Bruce Lee copycat who always hated to be a Bruce Lee copycat, so because they called him Bruce Lie or something. His real name is Ho Chung Tao, and he got some dope movies though. You know, they're so corny. They're like this. You get the whole 70 vibes in there. You know, like the fashion and then the music. They always use their old some funky stuff and shit. You know what I mean? So I like those movies too, though. You know what I mean? But talking
Word.
about it, definitely one of my favorites. And lastly, which comes along with the Bruce exploitation, but it's more like a homage to Bruce Lee, is also by Sammo Hung, but the big guy is called Enter the Fat Dragon. Yeah, that gotta be one of my favorites too, you know.
Or I mean, Sammo Hung is he's a legend, man. I loved him in what was it? Dragons Forever. I had to think about the title for a second with Jackie Chan, I believe, and damn, I always forget his name. But yeah, the three,
You
the
and
three
Bill,
of
you
them.
and Bill. Yeah,
It
you and
was
Bill.
I couldn't even think, but yeah, that it's the comedy. It was the comedy, but I mean, it's Jackie Chan. The man does his own stunts. You know what I'm saying? For anyone that
Yeah,
really is a martial art into the martial arts shit, you have to appreciate that he broke every bone in his body.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you gotta appreciate the man. You know what I'm saying? Plus, Sammo Hung had his own TV show. It was kind of cut short, but he did his thing too. But yeah, there's a lot of good classics with that. 36 Chambers, I love that. But I go more into like I guess more like Chinese Super Ninjas.
Oh shit, this one is dope too.
Uh,
Yes.
Ninja Dragon in the Ninja's Den or Ninja in the Dragon's Den. I forgot what it was,
Yeah,
how
yeah,
you
that
called
that
it, but
one with Conan Lee, right? Yeah.
yeah, like those were more of my like the you know what I'm saying, the not so popular but probably still popular joints. Those were more of my joints and whatnot. And yeah, so I love martial arts. I watch it all the time, man. Especially the Bruce Lee joints. Of course, you
If
can't
you
not watch
if,
it.
if you look, I know I really go old school. If you look behind me, you know, it's like I got the whole shit, like the VHS tapes and stuff, you know.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Word. So, I mean, I forgot to throw that out there for those that really appreciate martial arts. And since you are a martial artist, it kind of makes sense to ask these type of questions because, I'm pretty sure you watch them sometimes like, yo, that's fake. That doesn't happen.
But if you can, I mean, if you watch a martial art movie and at the same time you do martial arts, you have to be able to make the difference. You know, I mean, to understand kung fu or martial arts in general for movies always have to good look. Otherwise, no one will watch it. You
Hmm.
know, you can a fight will never look like in a movie, and no matter what kind of martial arts you do, unless you do like boxing or like MMA stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because movies are fake in general. You know what I mean? There's no not a single movie that's real. Like when I'm also working as security in the club and concerts and stuff like that. So I'm all the time I'm confronted with like fights and stuff, you know, and so it never looks, even if you do martial arts, it will not look like in a movie, you know what I mean? So doesn't matter which one, you know, you got that over the top fake kung fu movies, like when they jump on trees and wherever, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, then I like the kind of Bruce Lee movies or some of the more modern type movies. They are fake as fuck, bro. They're all fake, man.
I'm saying especially because, like you said, you kind of a bouncer. So you ever just want to hit somebody with the snake fist right quick? You know what I mean? Sleep somebody right quick. Like, yo, this is my job, but I love it. This is part of this is who I am. I mean, walking down. Especially, I can imagine being a true martial artist. See, I had like a blue belt or something. Like, you know what I mean? I knew some. I did some martial arts myself when I was a kid, but. You know what I mean? If you're having them belts, especially when you got the black belt, you walking down the street like you hoping somebody mug you. So you can just give you a reason to really fuck shit up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, I'm just putting that out there. I'm pretty sure you know way more than I do. That's an obvious because this is your lifestyle. But it's just something to think about sometimes. Like, yeah, I wish a motherfucker would. Like, I'm just say break every bone in their body, do some Donnie Yen IP man shit on somebody. 100 punches to the chest cavity. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So I wanted to get into that right quick, get that out the way because I had to talk about the martial arts
Yeah,
with you, man. Because I love your sample choices too. So it kind of it blends together and whatnot. Now I was gonna ask you this question too. if you had a chance to do an RIP type track, like, you know what I mean, if you had a chance to choose 3 RIP artists that recently passed away or in general just passed away, who would you want to produce a track with?
You know, when I was watching some of your older shows episodes on YouTube, and when that question was asked, I was thinking, who would I choose? You know, like, and it's so many, and rest in peace to all of them passed away already. It's crazy, you know, because they're not older than some, even younger than me. You know, I'm not that young anymore, and I wish they all still be alive. You know, but if it comes to who I wanted to make a track with, I was thinking back and forth. You know, there's so many. I probably would love to do with all of them a track. You know, but let's pick one. I don't know why, I probably would pick Poetic from Gravediggers. Because I always
Okay.
thought he's dope as fuck, man, you know? Poetic. His voice and
That's
his flow and everything, and I think it would match with my beats dope, you know? But the obvious ones like whatever, Biggie or Big L, Sean Price, you know, obviously. But Prodigy, first of all, you know, I'm a big Mobb Deep fan, you know. But no, I'll go with Poetic from Gravediggers.
word. That's crazy. Yo, shout out to Kid Mars. Or you know what I'm saying? Everyone, you know, honestly, man, like if I had a chance, I would pick some. You know, obviously the obvious ones first. You know what I mean? Big L, because that's my favorite. Hold up, let me get this guy in here right quick. But yeah, that's a dope choice, man. I ain't heard that before.
Very cute.
You?
Yo. Oh shit, we out here. What's up?
Oh,
What's up,
oh,
motherfuckers? What's up? We're at the
hey,
What's
bar.
that's
good?
good.
What's up, guys?
Chilling, man. Chilling.
Hell yeah. I'm out here with my chick. Her mom's in town. Brought the stepsons out to the fucking little Ferris wheel joint. You know what I mean?
That's
Doing
what's
the
up.
family
That's
thing, bro. I just had to pop in and say what's up. Mad love to both of y'all, brothers. I'll be
Yeah,
popping
man.
in, talking on, you know, I'll be checking you out on the video thing. But and Beau, I just wanted to see we was twinsies today. We was
Yeah, man.
twinsies,
I
brother.
was gonna say that. I know that writing, you know, because it's mirrored, right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, dope.
Yeah,
yo,
much love,
definitely
y'all.
want to give you a shout out, bro. Real quick before you did, man, for that misunderstood joint that was on the Deadly Duo shit, man.
Oh wow.
You definitely went in on that shit, and I like that. I like the fact it was a story based joint too. So I decided to throw that out there.
Yeah.
That definitely, you know what I'm saying?
Fucking salute, my brother, salute. You know, that's what we wanted to do. Something a little different from the normal. I wanted to take it back to like some early, like with it being a Goon music release too, it made me think of like Suicide Girl, like some AOTP, maybe like just something with a little substance or some backstory to fuck with, you know? Maybe not just throw some bars. Like I let the other dudes on the joint, me and Rambunctious, we tell a little story. The other dudes came ferocious with it. Maybe not everyone their stories and structures, but man, everyone killed the whole joint. So I was just grateful to be included.
Yeah, nah, no doubt. Definitely appreciate that, man. 'Cause you know what I'm saying? We need more of that in hip hop, man. Like, I love the
Yeah,
raw, gritty shit,
Word.
but to really be in depth like that, it takes a lot of talent to be able to stay conceptual like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially on a Beau Fat beat. You know what I'm saying?
I tried. Thank you. Yeah, because it's easy to just want to snap on those. You know what I mean? But
Word.
we're like 4 joints in, me and Beau on the new one. So we'll be
oh yeah,
popping in
yeah.
soon, brother. We'll be popping in soon. Love
No
y'all, man.
doubt.
Be safe. All right, it's all love.
All right, brother. Be
Peace,
safe, man.
peace. Yeah, I'll be tapping in the
Peace.
rest of this. You know.
Oh,
All right.
oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Word. That big L, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's crazy though, man. Like you got so much dope joints out. We're gonna get in this album in a second, cause yo, like I said, I love to really break down the artist first for those that may not have known you outside the music and shit. Cause you know what I'm saying. Everyone has an outside life outside of the music. You know what I mean? We can
That's
talk about the
right. That's
music.
right.
We can talk about the music all day, but let's be real. It's gonna be opinions and opinions, but really
Exactly.
it's a dope project. So, but before we can hop into that, I wanted to give a mention about your latest single, Seven Is Enough. That shit was
Yep.
ill.
Oh, thanks, brother. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, man. That track, I just made it like I have to think. I mean, this like only a couple of months ago when I just made that beat, and I was like, oh man, I can hear G Fam on it. You know, G Fam Black. Myself, we work a lot together. I can hear him on that one, and I wanted that with the like most hardcore MCs I work with. I wanted them on that one. I wanted to try to get them together. Or, although I gotta say, and this is not like in a negative way, I got Rust OG on it from Canada. You know, old school legend from Canada. He's more the kind of he's not like a hardcore spitter. He's more like the the vibing kind of guy, you know, he vibes with the beats and shit, you know what I mean? Like, but he got the voice and the presence and everything, so it fit together well. So yeah, man. So I had that one on lock for a while, and then yeah, released today.
Yeah, so I was saying you legit released it today, so I had the pleasure of listening to it. It was definitely well worth it. I mean, you had Jux Diamonds, you know what I'm saying, Bad Seed. You had the homie Donson on there, you know what I'm saying? Thrust, yeah,
Oh
man. I
shit,
mean,
yeah,
Thrust is
Johnson, he's crazy, man. I love his voice and his flow, everything. We work on something too, you know. I don't know, like 5, 6 tracks deep now. Yeah.
no doubt,
Work
no
with all
doubt.
of them, by the way, you know, all of them before or right now working on something. Jux and I, we work on a project in the background. You know, we take our time with that, you know, because he also has a lot of stuff working, you know. Yeah, Bad Seed, we worked already several times on you know features or like single tracks and stuff. Like he was already on my old album too, you know. Like I mean, not old album, my last album from last year, you know. Yeah.
No doubt.
But
Nah, that's what's up, though. That's what's up, man. I mean, yeah, like I said, I just had to mention that real quick. And then you also dropped a music video recently for the International Swords. Like, so definitely wanted to mention that out too, because that was a dope project, and I like the video to that.
oh yeah, that's from the Deadly Duo album, right? Yeah, Crumb Snatcher and Cuban Pete. Yes, yes.
Yeah, that shit was hot, man. Cause that's kind of what I was like jamming to for the longest with the Deadly Duos and shit. And like, you know what I mean? Like that shit really. I ain't really see too many like I ain't see anything really wrong with it. I mean, there was some that kind of down tempoed me a little bit, but other than that, the whole shit was like straight in your face raw music, man. I mean, you had a lot of good vibe music too, though, like vibe beats and shit. So it's like it kind of had something for everybody,
Yeah, yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So like,
I always go through like phases, you know. But I always go like back and forth through phases. Like, you know, my style is it's obviously boom bap, but you know, I got the sometimes like when I work a lot with G Fam Black, and it's more dark and slow beats, you know, because he loves his beats slow, you know. So then when I work with someone else like Thrust or Danku, then I'm in a different phase. Then the beats maybe more soulful, got a little jazzy touch and a little more up tempo. I'll never go too fast with the beats, you know. Maybe max is like 92, always between like 76 to 92. But I mean that range already is okay, you know. It's like big, but that's my beat range. So, but then it also depends how I work with the samples. Do I just loop or do I chop? You know, so I always have my phases. You know, sometimes I just do more choppy type beats or like loop type beats. You know, but yeah.
yeah, no,
So I
it
try to
definitely
for my
works.
album though. I try to have a little bit of everything in it. You know.
Yeah, no, it definitely worked though, man. I mean, because it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot of tracks. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't like now kind of just cut things down to like 6 tracks and shit. Like they kind of make it a little bit shorter. But the fact it was 13 tracks and everything was well put together made it dope. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of hard to find a full fledged album and have it
That's
all
true.
the way. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely had to say that it was definitely dope. But with that, to get into that, I was gonna ask you, did you have any any favorite tracks that kind of stuck out to you more than others on that specific one?
Oh, that's a good question. Every track obviously has like a little backstory. So just alone for that, and then who I work with, I mean, not I can say that like more than half of the album they are real friends to me, and some of the features obviously I paid them, but if I paid them, they always gave me like real dope prices for the verse, you know what I mean? So I try to mix it up with like Kenneth Masters or who's my brother, like, you know what I mean? We consider each other brother, like, you know what I mean? We have that one album that came out like 3 months ago or something like that on Chopped Herring Records, and we worked on the album for nearly 3 years, until it came out. And so I mixed them up with and with Craig G, you know. And that track is, if you listen to that track, it's totally different. It's really like a head nod. It's like funky, like the bass line and everything. You know what I mean? But it's kind of dope, I think. So because it's kind of different, it's like one of my favorites. But it's hard to say to have a favorite from that album. The one with Fruquan is dope too, and Chief Wrecker. Uh, that has a whole other different story, but it's something I'm not really will talk about it live, but let's say like this, that one supposed to have a video, but it never happened. But other than that, the one with G-Fam and Young Z, definitely dope.
Or
They're all
I
dope, man.
personally,
I couldn't really say which one is my like favorite. They all have their own story, and the people that are on the tracks that are featured on the tracks, obviously they mean something to me, and so it's kind of hard to say, But the one with
yeah,
MZ and
definitely.
Frost is also dope. It's definitely dope.
I feel you, man. You'd be surprised though, cause I mean, you know what I mean? 'Cause it's hard to not like disrespect somebody or like, oh well, this track is better than this and that. But at the end of the day, we're fans of our own music, so there has to be,
Yeah,
sometimes there is some that kind of just like, yo, okay, yeah, let me rewind this. Others are like, I'm gonna come back to it, but. You know what I mean? Like for me, for instance, Kick Down Doors with Kinetic Nine and Urban Legend. That there was just something about the chemistry in that, and the beat, and everything was
shit.
just well.
But that's true. I got you, man. That track has a whole different story too, because I had Urban Legend and I we got an album together too. It's not came out yet, but I love his flow. I love his voice, everything. The way he flow on the track, man. It's just like you can just listen to it all day. It's never will annoy you, like And then the second verse, it was supposed to have a Kinetic 9, which also ended up to be like that. But I was waiting for the verse from Kinetic, and he didn't came up with it and whatever. So I had Trust OG spitting his verse on this. And if you listen to the track on the hook, you actually hear Trust's voice on there.
Yeah, I
He's
was gonna
like
say.
he's on the hook. He's on the hook because he actually had a second verse on that one. But then all of a sudden, Kinetic came with his second verse. So in the last minute, so I took that off, and we used that second verse from Trust for a Trust album. But he mentioned the name of Urban, so I also got Urban on that one too. So it's all good. The Trust was on the album anyway with the Edo G's joint. But yeah, so Kinetic Nine came up with his verse a little later, but yeah. So yeah, but this track came out nice in the end. Yeah.
Yo, that's an ill backstory though, because yeah, I was wondering because when I was listening to that, I was trying to pinpoint who was doing the hook because it kind of threw me off a little bit trying to figure that out because I'm like, it's not Urban Legend, it's not Kinetic Nine, so somebody
Oh, I
else,
mean,
somebody else.
it's Urban on the hook, but you can hear Thrust OG's voice in the background, like doing doubling a little bit. So you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
It sounded ill, man. And like,
Yeah, yeah,
it's like I said, it was the overall chemistry because
yeah, yes.
the beat. I love my dark beats, man. I gotta have my dark beats. So it's like that definitely was like the top notch
Actually,
for me.
actually, if you listen to Misunderstand, it got my man Tone Spliff on the cuts, and you know he always cut misunderstood. You know that's the voice of actually GFam Black, and I asked specifically GFam if he could record uh, if he record his voice to just say the word misunderstood in a certain way. So then I sent it to Tone Spliff, and he cut it in. You know. So
That's
actually,
crazy.
it's not a deadly duo anymore. It's like there's actually three on it. Like you know, in some of the tracks, you know, like in the background you got some people. So it's but yeah, man, you know that's how we work. You know.
Yeah, nah, I feel you, man. Definitely, Devil's Advocate too with the homie Mickey Bourbon. You know, like, yeah, that especially because I think y'all first started pushing that first. I think when I
Yes,
first
that was
started coming into it.
it was the first single, and that was also my first ever self-made video. I mean, like they both of them they just filmed themselves. They gave me some footage, and I actually made the video out of this, like the editing and all that. That was basically the first track, and that's a couple of reasons why I picked that one as the first single. You know, I mean, some probably other people would have went with the more noun names to drop the first single with like wherever like Edo G or I mean we dropped it as second single, but I wanted to go straight underground with the first single. You know, don't do the obvious. And also I thought that that's like one of my favorite beats because excuse me, it almost has nothing in it. Like you know, it's just the bass line that I played with my MIDI keyboard. Well, but other than that, there's just some sound bits in it. So the beat is kind of grimy, like you know, and kind of head nodding, and got that vibe. And then I got like Mickey on it with the first verse, and I'm like, oh damn, man, who else I get on this? And then I'm working with Child Mantle at the moment too for an album. And I thought, yeah, I gotta put them together, you know. And then they talk to each other what they're gonna do, like the subject and shit. So yeah, man, that came out dope. Fuck, I thought, you know. So I was like, okay, let's do that because since we got a video too, they made some footage. Let's do this, you know. So that's why picked that as the first single. Obviously, together with Goons, you know, which is another story.
Yeah, nah, that shit, that shit was dope, man. Two Serpents too, man. I'm not gonna lie though, the only thing that threw me off with the whole Two Serpents and stuff, with I kind of, I don't know why, but I kind of wanted that to be like the third track or like somewhere in the beginning. I don't know why. It's just that track kind of hit a whole other way. I mean, it was perfect where it was too, though, because it makes you want to rewind the whole entire shit, anyways. But you know what I mean? Like for me personally, it's like when I love certain tracks, I put them back to back, so this way I can just really just vibe the hell out. But I felt like that track was so hard. And like it was almost to me, it was almost like one of the hardest tracks on there. I don't know why it felt that way. It just did. Maybe it's just the chemistry with Danku and Solomon, but like I
Yeah,
felt like
I mean that track. The only reason why I put that last on the album is because I got Danko on two tracks on the album. So I said to Danko, man, I'm gonna let you open the album and finish the album, like But actually, he ended up on the A side. He's on the second track, right, with Jice One, and ends up with the last one. So it's kind of because me and Danko, we probably have we released around 10 albums already, and we still have maybe another 15 in the can, like, you know, really finished and ready to release. You know, like I got albums with Danku, and because he got a lot of feature albums. I mean, not feature, like collaboration albums, like with Young Z. We got a whole album with Young Z. We got a whole album with Cellar Dwellers. We got a whole album with Pace One. We got 2 finished albums with Trust OG. We got a couple of solo albums, and then the group album with Cypher Dan. You know, so we got a whole bunch of tracks. So I work a lot with Danku, you know, and so obviously he was on 2 tracks on the album, and also the track with Solomon Child was actually a track that we already did before thinking about my album. You know, that track was done already. I just kind of freshen it up, you know. And then the one with Jice One is actually, the Jice One verse is actually an old verse of Jice One. So he actually didn't rap on my beat. But Danku and Jice, they had an old track that he never released. And so I kind of remade it, you know. So he gave me that old track. He said, you could use that for your album and shit, you know. I said, oh cool, yeah. I mean, it's always good to have a name on it. So I talked to Jice One too now after that, you know, because he didn't know about it because that was already old. So, but it's all good, you know. It's sometimes you just do this, you know, just to have a like more round up project, you know. I mean, it kind of helped the project too, you know, like that. And so yeah, so Danku basically did a new verse for that then, and a hook, I think. Yeah, so that's why actually Two Serpents is like one of the last. It's the last track, but it's not like an order, right? It's not like my favorite track first, and so I just try to mix it up good, you know. Like my last album from last year, I had Bad Seed doing the last track on the album, and that's like one of the hardest track on the album, you know. I don't know if you hear that from last year, my album.
Which one? Which one are you referring to? My bad, yo.
It's the album kind of, because you know my homie, my man, Kenneth Mathis, he when I did that album, he said you should give it a German name. The album, you know, there's no German rapper on this, and no, you know, there's all Americans. I think 99% Americans on there, and so he said, but yeah, yo, to make it dope, you should give it a German title. So I gave it a title. Basically translates to the world is a dark place. The album is also a little more dark than the new one, beat-wise, and yeah, and I got a track called Razor Blade Flow with with Bad Seed, you know. So that's basically the last track on the album, you know. So yeah.
Shout out to the homie Bad Seed, man. He began to do this shit. And also shout out to the fam Jice One. Now I was gonna actually kind of touch based on that very quick, because it did sound like, now that you mentioned that, it did sound kind of a little weird. Like it did sound like, I don't know, maybe it was just me, but it did kind of sound like it might have been a little offbeat somehow or something. So maybe that kind of makes sense if it was an older verse and it was tossed on something else, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but like,
because you know, I try to recall. That's why we talk. Why I talk with Jice One. He told me that it was in fact a little off. And the thing is, I think I had what I worked with, right? Also, the quality of his verse wasn't that good. So what I got, what Danko gave me is like an old verse and a ref track. And I'm not too sure, but I think that even that ref track was already off because it wasn't the original track or something like that. I'm not even sure. But yeah, like all these tracks, unfortunately, that was a little off, you know. It's always the problem when you work, when the MC is not spitting on that beat, you know, and you try to remake something and stuff, you know. I mean, sometimes it works. But sometimes if you're unlucky, well.
Yeah, I figure. I'm glad y'all hashed that out though, because you know what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, like it's good to communicate, especially when it comes to things like these, because you know what I'm saying. We all in this together, and we all trying to make classics, and you know what I'm saying. And I know Jice one's a good brother of mine, but he's a good dude. And
Yeah, yeah.
I know he would never, you know what I mean, come out. You know what I'm saying? Be like, no, fuck that, let's get it. You know, like that's not Jice. You know what I'm saying? He a good dude, but at the same time, I do agree with him because it did sound kind of offbeat. I mean, the only thing I would have to say about that would just be maybe it would have been better if he re-recorded to that new your beat. You know what I mean? 'Cause then maybe it would have made everybody more on the same page in that situation.
Yeah,
I should
that's
say.
true. That's true. I mean, at the time when we did it, I had no like contact with him at all. You know, I wasn't connected to him or in any kind of way on social media or whatever. And you know, so to backstory, me and Danko, like I said, we got a whole bunch of stuff. You know, he had a fallout with his old producer like a couple of years ago. You know, and the old producer told Danko he can't use any of his beats. You know, so Danko asked me at that time if I could like remake all these old songs, you know, that he already had in the can, you know, but can't use the beats, so he don't want to waste those songs. So he asked me basically to redo them, you know. And so he probably that's why he had that old joint and gave it to me. So yeah. But it would have been the perfect way would have been if we had like conversation with Jice One and before that, and maybe he would have redid his video, his verse for that song. Then it would have been much better. I
I
agree
mean,
on that. Definitely,
the the
definitely.
way the way you're talking, it makes it sound obvious that it wasn't you were just adding in the beat. You know what I'm saying? You were just, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been in those situations plenty of fucking times, so I know how this shit go. As far as his, you know, I've known Danku for a while. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing a lot of people don't know. I know about him and Cypher Den, and you know his old producer is actually one of my peoples too. But it's like that's why I don't get involved in all that. That's not
Mhm.
really my business. You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with me. But I mean, as far as it goes with making dope music, that's why, like I said, it goes back just to communication. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, as far as you go, you're just making the heat. You making the beats. You know what I'm saying? So really, it's not your place to be like, yo, all right, well, we should, you know what I'm saying? Like that should have been, you know what I mean? Like maybe Danku and Jice should have reached out to Jice and just asked for a new verse. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck could have been done. Either way, I mean, it came out pretty good. But it's just something that you mentioned that I just wanted to touch on because it did sound a little weird. I mean, it didn't completely ruin it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be real with you. I would definitely like to hear a future project for you with Jice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I think he sounds good on your beats. I mean, if that could happen, it can happen. Shout out to the brother Jice One. You know what I'm saying? And if that happens, it happens. If not, then you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. But I'm glad you touched that in. I'm glad y'all hashed that out. See, this is what the show's about, man, because there's so many backstories to shit. And it sometimes it gets misinterpreted. Sometimes people take it the wrong way. And then other times people get butthurt as fuck and just block each other and everybody just cuts each other off. Man, fuck all that. Like this is motherfucking hip hop. This ain't the fucking Grammys and shit. Like we trying to make music. So I'm glad you told me those stories, man, because it sounds like you kind of went through a little a little whirlwind of shit in the album, but it came out so great that it made it what it is. So you know what I'm saying? It was all worth the headaches or whatever might have happened. You know what I'm saying? Like aside from all that, like I think it was a dope ass project. Peace to the Bad Seed, the fam. You know what I'm saying? He
Oh yeah, peace,
bad.
peace.
Bad C be going in, man. Every fucking track this man touches, bro. Especially on your beats too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Definitely. From the bottom with Jux, man, that shit was ill
Oh
too.
yeah, we got the video coming too, though. You know what I mean? The
Nice.
video's in the work, and that's gonna be maybe the next. Yeah, it's gonna be the next single. Actually, I think it will drop in like in a week or 2 weeks or something like that. Yeah,
No
yeah,
doubt.
yeah. So we're gonna put some light on that track. You know what I mean? Like some extra shine and shit. You know what I mean? Because the video gonna be dope. I saw the footage, and it's simple but dope. You know what I mean? They chilling in the in Brooklyn in the bodega or something like that. You know what I mean? And spitting their verses and shit, man. It's gonna be dope, man. Can't wait to see the proper edited video. You know what I mean? Uh,
That's what's up,
Also,
man.
that
Hell yeah.
track, for example, that track is Illegal's favorite. I think he said all of them from the whole crew and the Snowgoons crew, they all love that one. That from the bottom joint. You know what I mean? Like it's their favorite. You know what I mean? I mean, like
That's good.
so that's gonna be big. You know, looking
See,
forward to release that again as a single and shit. You know.
that's why I be
Yeah,
asking
shout
these
out to Bad
questions.
Seed and Jugs, man. Jugs always comes up with crazy stuff, man. Jugs and Bad Seed, man. I mean, they got a little crew together too, and they're gonna work on a new project together. But even in my album last year that I dropped last year, I got also a track with Jugs on there, and he made a whole video for that. You know, just like that. You know, he just made a video for that shit. You know, that's so dope, man. And I love the hooks. He always got the hooks from Jux are different. I mean, different level. Like I love they're kind of complex. You know, they're not like typical. ABC. Like he got his own way to the hooks and shit. You know, so, yeah.
Yeah, Jux is a whole nother MC, man. He does his thing, man, and I mean, I appreciate what he does for hip hop and the Bad Seed in general, man. I mean, who else is gonna make a whole track about fuck the Funk Flex? Shout out to
Yeah,
to the brother
yeah.
Bad Seed and really make that shit bump and keep it fucking real though. Like, you know what I
You
mean?
have
Like,
to.
no
You have to.
beefing.
If you have time, peep that joint we did called Razor Blade Flow. You know what I mean? Because this is probably if you listen to this you wanna go out and stick someone up, like mark somebody, like like
Word, yeah.
that.
I'm gonna have to check that most definitely, man. The other question I was gonna ask you because you did mention you rap, so any chance for a comeback?
No. I'm good. I'm with the production. It's probably I'm. If you could see on how many projects I work at the moment, it's too much. And then rap as well. No, 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 not anymore. Man. But back in the days, I kind of like halfway successful here in Germany. You know what I mean? Like I had little like tours and I was in the video in the 90s. It's in the 90s. It's different than now. Because now everyone can do videos and everyone can do um tracks production. All you need is the internet connection and computer and a little program. I mean, most of the people they just do their beats on software or whatever, and so you can do everything at home. But in the 90s it was different, right? I mean, you probably remember the days how it was back then. You didn't have no internet. You had to go. You had to like really hustle your shit. Like if you had like now you can at least put it on the internet. But how you would have done it in the 90s? I mean, you chopped your tapes or whatever, like on the street, basically, or you went to parties and gave out your tapes and shit like that. It's totally different than now. So
I,
even
ju-
the
I, was, I was I
reaction,
was gonna say, how young do you think I am? Trust me, I've been there. I used to have the CDs in the backpack and shit. I know, yeah, this whole internet shit, some next level shit. I mean, it's more convenient, but it's a gift and a curse. Too many people, it's oversaturation now because everybody's doing the same shit.
yeah,
Because I was making beats with the CD burner and the PlayStation music generator, the Casio keyboards, and
yeah.
beatboxing and recording into the mic, and you know what I'm saying, all that other shit back then. So I know what you definitely know where you're coming from. But on the flip side of that, man, if you love to do it, you should try to redo it anyways. I mean, let's look at this. Let me ask you this from this standpoint. What if Premier walked up to you and was like, yo, I got a beat for you, yo, rap on it.
Yeah, I
You know
would
what I'm
rap on
saying?
that. I don't care. I rap on that shit, of course, man. I sit down and write,
Like,
but
see, that's what I'm saying.
of course, man. Well, Premiere is. It's like the godfather of producers, like, you know, in my eyes, you know. But yeah. Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, you got everything you need to do it too, because it ain't like the 90s. You know what I mean? You can literally connect with anybody on this shit and just make your own rap album, man. Like, if not to put out to, you know what I'm saying, to really exploit, but more so for yourself. Like, just have your nice little vinyl on the wall and shit and say you did it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like hip hop is kind of changing that aspect because people's dreams are so different now. In the 90s, the dream was, make money, blah, blah, blah. And now it's like everyone is still stuck on it. It's not supposed to be about that, though. It's supposed to be like, yo, we doing this music for ourselves. Like, I still listen to shit I did back in the days now and still jam the fuck out of it like it just happened yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like the dreamers are not the dreamers no more, man. We should be like, so you couldn't do something back then. You should be able to do it now. That's why a lot of us are grown ass adults buying action figures or statues and all this shit. When we told ourselves when we older, we ain't gonna buy none of this shit. We older now, we buying it. So it's like, why the fuck, why not put some time? Well, when you got time, because I know you're a busy man. You got so much going on and shit. So I could definitely understand that. But hey, if you was dope, man, shit. I mean, I ain't never heard you rap, but if you was dope, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Do some Snowgoons, Beau Fat release. You know what I'm saying?
I can give you a link later to some of my old shit. You know, there's actually still a video on YouTube from the late '90s. There's still a video on there on YouTube when I was rapping and shit. You know, together with some other guys. You know, but yeah, it's still there, still out there.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. But yeah, that's dope though, man. I mean, like I said, regardless, man, I'm giving you your flowers, kid. You got so much dope ass productions, dope ass tracks. I mean, you're co-signed by so many artists that, like, I mean, if there was a Hall of Fame for producers, I'm pretty sure you can put yourself in there. Like, that's how much credibility you have in this game. Like, that's what this is about too. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? When you dope, you dope. But then when you got the credit to back you on top of the dopeness, it's all worth it at the end of the day. I mean, your shit is hot, man. I told you the Deadly Duo shit kind of was like, I was like, yo, this shit's crazy. I was like, this shit is crazy. I'm sitting here blasting that shit in the whip while I'm doing my FedEx package, just throwing them shit out the fucking door, like listening to the Deadly Duo. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this shit bumping right here. I was about to blast that shit in people's neighborhoods, and so I definitely
appreciate that, man. I mean, just, now imagine that, I mean, here I am in Germany, Hanover, and someone in the United States is driving around in his car or whatever and blasting the music, I mean, that's that alone, just that alone. And if one person is doing that, man, that's like goal achieved, man, like it's dope, man. It's just dope, that the one person that enough to make me like happy about it. You know what I mean? Like, I do a lot of jobs. I work a lot of jobs. I like at the weekend I do security. During the week, I work in a bakery. In the morning I gotta get up early every day, like 3 o'clock. Late afternoon I teach the martial art thing, and in between I got a wife. I make music. I spend a lot of time on making music. The thing is, it's not just making beats, right? It's like the mixing, building the tracks, the arrangements, then do all the promo work and do these little videos and shit. You know what I mean? Because I don't have like a whole team behind me doing that. Like I do everything myself, basically. You know what I mean? Now that I got the album on the Goon music label, that obviously helped me a lot. It just also put me a little further. I got a bigger platform. More people actually hear about me or my music and stuff. You know what I mean? Because that's what you need. That kind of kick. That kind of push. Otherwise you'll be like one of amongst million or whatever. Like doing, because I hear it all the time. Like your track that you sent me the link earlier today with the track with Comet.
Mm-hmm.
That track is so dope. I knew it a long time, but I didn't know you made the beat actually. You know what I mean? and that shit is so dope. And there are so many like dope stuff like out there that people don't even know about. It always bothers me if I like, what's that? That there's like, I was listening to another track the other day with a dope video and everything, but I only had like 800 views and shit, you know, or something like that. And that's already like 3 years old and shit. I wonder, man, it doesn't even cost anything to go on YouTube and watch it, you know, why not, you know? But then again, if you don't know about it, how would you end up finding this, you know? Like, so it's not that easy, you know? But there's so many dope producers, MCs out there that are not being heard enough, in my opinion, you know? So if you then you get a chance to get that push, like from Snowgoons, because they're already like known, you know, in the hip hop scene, more known, and so that helps, you know. So, and they from Germany too. I mean, you know, I live in the north and they live in the south. Legal lives in the south, and so it's quite far from each. We are quite far from each other, and actually, I only I saw, you know, Danko. He got this. He had this show called Pick Apart the Passion. And Snowgoons was on his show, you know. So I was listening to the interview, and then I just thought, damn, they got almost the same backstory. Like, it's just like I hear myself talking, you know what I mean? Like a lot of things that happened to me too, because we're around the same age and experience the same things when it comes to hip hop and life and shit, you know. And I thought, man, they're actually mad cool, you know, like, so I just reached out to them. Just don't even think about, like, my album and shit, you know what I mean? So, actually, I was talking to Illegal then. Actually, I didn't want to ask if they want to release my album to their label. I just thought if it was possible to release my album on their YouTube channel or something like that. So I was thinking, so maybe it will get more views there than on my channel, you know what I mean? Because my channel sucks when it comes to, I got a martial arts channel with 11,000 followers, you know? So I kind of started to mix it up with my hip hop, you know, because before I had a separate hip hop channel on YouTube with like 300 followers or subscribers on there, you know? So it sucked, man. It sucked balls, you know? So, man, no one just fucking go on my music channel, so I just put it on my martial art channel. But it didn't give me more views, though, to be honest, because the martial art people are also, not all of them listen to hip hop, especially when they're from like Asia or something like that, you know. So, but still, I mix it up now, you know. So I already got my 11,000 followers on that channel, so it's automatically a little bit better than on my old channel, you know. But so I was thinking, after I talked to them, maybe they could put my album on their YouTube channel, because I saw that they put a lot of artists on their YouTube channel. Right? So I didn't even think about that my album gonna be pressed on vinyl and whatever, you know what I mean? I didn't even think about that, you know. And then he said, yeah, we could do this and that and blah blah blah, and then yeah, man, oh, of course, man. So that's how I actually ended up on Snowgoons Goon Music label. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just how they are, man. You know what I'm saying? My first time meeting them, Illegal and Generation, like they're your fucking family right off the bat, and you know that's how they are. See, that's why a lot of people, I get that a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like Benny Holiday said the same thing. Like everybody's always mentioning them in the inbox and shit like that. But see, they do listen out for artists. A lot of people don't get that. People are intimidated by them, which they have a right to, because, you know, like Snowgoons is a big, they the fucking pinnacle of the top of the underground type shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, but they always listen out for new talent. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's where such as me, like I come in, because I'm gonna introduce to artists that they might not have heard, other people might not have heard, and that's why it's good that you reached out to them, because it was beneficial. Cause look, now you got shit everywhere, and you know what I'm saying. People know what needs to be, you know what I'm saying, how to reach you and shit like that. So that shit is awesome, man. And they good people too. A lot of people get that wrong about them too. They good people. They always listen out for talent. It's not just like, oh, they're only gonna work with certain people. Now they listen out for everybody. So you know what I mean, I can say that firsthand. And they definitely family, man. And I'm glad y'all work together, because this album was definitely well worth putting on a vinyl and to just be put out there like that to begin with. So, and moving forward, I kind of hope that happens for all your shit. Like, even if it's not just specifically released through the Snowgoons in general, you deserve that kind of them flowers, man. Because you know what I'm saying. Like I said, you got dope production, man. Like your shit is really hot. Like, you know what I
Thanks,
mean?
man. Thanks.
Even if you didn't have the artists on the beats, I would still be listening to the beats. So I'm just saying, I'm just putting that out there real quick and shit. But
The thing is, I mean, the thing is, it really helps if you have like some names on your stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, a lot of these artists I work with, they already got some of them already have a kind of great following. Like I mean, G-Fan Black, you know, he's dropping stuff every month, almost every month, like new stuff. You know what I mean? And or I mean, Danku, he's now on the Onyx distribution label. You know, 100 Mad. You know, so there being some of them getting here. You know, I mean, they get some attention from bigger people, like, you know what I mean? Because it's really, sometimes I look at it like it's like a I don't know, it's like one level and there's like a million of people and they try to get to the next level, you know, and to get to that next level, which is not on top or whatever, you know, but I see it like there's many levels, probably like 36 chambers of Shaolin and something like that, you know what I mean? You got to work through the chambers first, you know, because before you get up there or something like, you know what I mean? And I think the hardest part is to get a little bit out of the mass, you know, like there's so many people and dope people too, you know, and but I think the hardest working at some point should get out there, you know, a little bit or to the next level to just get the attention, you know what I mean? Like, cause like a lot of these people I work with, they work so hard, you know, they drop constantly new stuff. And that's also a difference to the 90s, you know, like in the 90s, you did have a little more time with your projects and stuff. You know, look, my album came out like, what it was like a month now. Yes, or nearly a month. Not even. So it's 2 weeks, you know. But you see already, you can see numbers going down. Like, you know, it's not lasting long. You know, you work like a year on something, and then it's out there for 3-4 weeks, and then it's gone. Then, you know, next thing, you know. And it was different in the 90s. That's the internet, you know. That's the downside. I mean, the internet has too many good sides. You couldn't. Like, we couldn't even do this what we do now, right? But when it comes to music, it's just like in the 90s, we just bought an album and I heard it the whole year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was on my own tapes for my Walkman. I had like, you know, like I remember when the second Mobb Deep album, the infamous album came out, Shook Ones and all those joints from that album. I had like 3-4 favorites from that album, right? And I think it was for 2 years on every tape I made, you know. I got all the new joints on the tape, and then I always mix it up with my favorite joints. And, you know, I think the Mobb Deep joints were like on every tape. If you found a box with my old tapes, you will like Shook 1, 2, or start off your ending or whatever. It's on every tape, like, you know. When I had a favorite track, it was on every tape all the time, you know, like that, you know. But now you know, like, new albums don't have that impact anymore. Not because the music is worse than before. It's just because, like, you remember in the 90s, most of the tracks had 3 verses, right? Now, standard is 2 verses, 16 bars. Like, you know, I mean, that's the standard right now. Before, when I was rapping, most of my tracks had like 3 verses, 20 bars. Like, you know, That was the standard then, you know, and that's what I mean. It changed. Everything got shorter and quicker. So yeah. So I think the value of music, people don't value music as in the old days, like, you know, because then you bought a real vinyl or a CD later or even a cassette, and you had that shit playing until it broke or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but now you just download it, have an MP3. You know, you pick your two favorite tracks from that album. The rest of the album is somewhere on your computer in some folder or whatever. You know what I mean? You never listened to it, like, but before you had the album, you was listening front to back, you were reading all that shit. Sometimes they had the lyrics with it, like you were rapping along or whatever, you know, like that, you know. They did that whole process, like getting the music in, like, you know, understanding, trying to understand, trying to, you know, get the vibe, and like that is gone, you know. That's gone. It's all like quick now, quick, fast, boom, next, chuck, 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 next album. Every 2 months a new album, whatever. Otherwise, people will forget about you, you know. So you're kind of forced to always come up with new shit, you know, which is tiring at some point. Could be, you know.
I mean, you know what it is too, though? It's the algorithm. You know what I mean? It's the whole system, the way it's set up. You know what I mean? Because if you dropped a new track you just released in the newsfeed, literally 2 seconds after that, you're just completely saturated with 10 other people's posts. And if you didn't tag nobody, that one track you posted just automatically gets pushed to the side. Like that's the problem with the algorithm. And if you're not paying for the promotion, your piece of Jice won it. If it's not promoted, it gets set to the side like it ain't shit. And then even with all the social media, it fucks up the whole flow of things, man, because like, you know, there's so much dope ass music, but how the fuck are you supposed to know that if you got fucking Madonna's latest hit just hopped on your fucking news feed and just saturated the whole fucking thing because everybody's posting the same stupid corny ass shit. So it's like, you know, it makes it hard for anybody to do that. And plus, you know what I mean, like it's easier to find producers and stuff. That's the beneficial thing of this internet shit, is you can find all the stuff you couldn't find before, but it's oversaturated now.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Because you remember you used to look at the cassette tape, yo, who produced this, yo, who did this and that, and trying to actually find a catalog from them. It was like you would have to actually go to the vinyls, and you'd have to do all this shit. Now you just type in fucking who produced that, and then it's boom, you got the whole everybody's fucking catalog since the fucking 80s. So it's like that's the beneficial shit to it. But
oh yeah. I mean, without the internet, I wouldn't even have that album, you know. I mean, like I know all the MCs I work with in the States. It's just because of the internet, right? I mean, I'm in Germany, they are in the, you know, wherever they are, and that's it, you know. Without the internet, it wouldn't be possible at all, you know.
Yo, Jice, we was just discussing about the whole situation with the verse and shit, and you know what I mean, put that out there and shit. I mean, you can listen back later unless you got some feedback you wanted to hop in. But I mean, y'all kind of squashed all that, and I'm glad that guy happened, man. Because I think the verse was hot. I mean, like I said, the whole situation was kind of crazy. But I would like to hear y'all do something together where it gives a chance to redeem itself. You know what I mean? Like with the whole verse and shit and everything else.
He was talking about the verse and how I got the verse and everything, and then unfortunately it got a little offbeat and shit, you know. So we was talking about that. Well, yeah, I mean I wrote him. We wrote some mails back and forth and shit, you know, and we said whenever the next thing comes up, I'll reach out to him for some proper stuff, you know, some proper. We'll see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, like I said, man, that whole shit is crazy. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But all in all, man, Jice is a good brother. Like I said, man, and you know what I'm saying? He got bars, man. But yeah, like I said, because of the whole situation is like, I would like to hear a new verse, but it is what it is, man. Well, we gonna get past that. But I mean, bottom line is, like you said, you're from the '90s and shit. And I'm a '90s head too, so it's like hip hop is just different, man. And I appreciate even like with creative uses, man. They fucking push. Like ID, if you've ever met ID, he pushes so fucking much, but yet I feel like he deserves way more fucking love and respect than, you know what I'm saying, I'll be seeing it anyways. But then again, it's the internet. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to really tell what the fuck is one anymore. You know, like everybody's just following everybody and unfollowing each other. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of funny style ass shit going on. It's like you never know who's actually appreciating your shit and who's just just clout chasing or whatever. Cause like I said, in my inbox, I be getting that shit all the time. Yo, link me to this person, link me to that person. It's like, do you even fuck with the show? Do you even fucking support my shit? What the fuck you asking me to link you to such and such and such? Like,
yeah.
that shit, you know, like this shit ain't cool, man. Like we need to work on better music, man. Work on better relationships and communication with each other and shit. And just keep it like that, man. There's so many dope artists. Like, you know what I'm saying? Straight up, so many dope artists, so many dope producers. Like I said, man. But to touch on that too, because me and you was talking about this before and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you still down to do it, because we gotta figure that whole scenario out. But yo, I wanted to do that beat battle with me, you, and my boy Indian Bless. Now it's not, for those that don't know the beat battles and shit like that, it's not really battling. We ain't going for each other's throats. It's just in the spirit of Halloween. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I figure we throw on the max, throw out some ill ass fucking beats and shit, and just showcase some shit. Just have fucking fun. For those, you know what I mean, sitting home and got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you got fire, I got fire, and my boy got fire. So, you know what I mean? If you still down to do that, I'm good.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm down with that. And you know, like I said, man, for those who don't know, I'm in Germany, and it's 4 o'clock in the morning over here right now.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. Shit.
But you
God
know, I do
bless you,
that.
bro.
I do that shit for the hip hop love, for the love of hip hop. You know what I mean? I love to do that, man. You know, I went to bed a little early today, just so yeah, you know, so I'm not too tired or whatever. I'm not tired at all. You know, I'm used to get up early anyway. You know what I mean? Because my job and shit. You know what I mean? I go up, I wake up every morning 3 o'clock, and at the weekend I work through the night. You know, so that's it. You know, no problem.
That's
But yeah,
crazy.
yeah, that beat battle gonna be dope. It's gonna be
I
dope.
mean,
You just
'cause
have to
last
figure out how to do it, like technically, like so it doesn't sound shitty for the people if they listen to it. Like you know how important it is to hear the bass and everything. You know, when you hear on a beat on your phone or whatever, sometimes you like, you know, it's like, nah, I want to hear that shit on speakers and shit, and not on the phone. And you know,
I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's all good fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
yeah,
not,
I mean,
you know
yeah,
what I mean? I mean, cause last year I did a beat battle with me and Kiyo Itachi and shit, and like the quality was not all there, but I was like, damn, Kiyo, why'd you have to delete that shit? Because you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure there was some fire we was playing, but he deleted it so we couldn't go back and, you know, try to alter
oh,
shit. So
okay.
no, I mean, it's nothing. It's all good. I was fine with it because I had a good time doing it. But like, Kiyo was too busy this Halloween because he's got mad shit he doing and whatnot. But that's why I'm like, you know what? Let me reach out to some other dope ass producers and let's throw on a fucking little show and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like 30-minute joint, something like that. Play some 10 beats or some shit like that, and just have a good time with it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
I want to do that. I want to do that every fucking year, man. Because you know what I'm saying. Like I feel like people need that kind of entertainment because nobody want to watch these motherfucking reality shows and shit.
I mean, I have to think about it just now. I didn't even think about it before, but if I play the beats, I have to play them kind of loud, right? And then it's like 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning over here. I got neighbors, you know, but yeah, I mean,
Um,
they're young, you know what I mean? They I don't think they will go. It's on the weekend too, so yeah, should be cool, you know, should be cool.
I don't think you really have to play too loud. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you hold the phone like near the speaker and shit. Like, just
Yeah,
enough.
yeah,
Like, cause you know what I mean? If you blast it too loud anyway, if it's through the phone, it's gonna automatically distort it. It's gonna sound all weird anyway. So it's like it should work out somehow. I mean, it worked out last time with me and Keo, but I know how Keo's a perfectionist. I get it. It's like I understand completely. You know what I'm saying? Like I got mad love for the brother, but I was tight. I was like, why'd you take that shit down, man? Yo, that shit was fucking hot. Like this, he had some fucking fire. I had some fucking fire. We was going back to back with the shit. It was ill, man. But yeah, because I know you got me and you got a similar style. You know what I'm saying? So I think that shit will be dope. But my boy 88 Blessed, he got some shit too. So I was like, yo, everybody was, I think, would be digging it, man. I would love to have a rap battle, but I don't think anybody want. I don't think anybody want to do that shit online.
How just for example, you know, I got a loop here. How good can you hear this? I'm curious now. Can you hear this?
A tiny bit.
Yeah, I was working on that earlier, you know.
Nah, I like that. This shit sounded kind of mystical and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that though. That shit was pretty sounding pretty ill. I mean, you know, we would give it a try. If it don't work, it don't work. It's all good, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just time for you know what I mean? For those that can't go trick or treating, could be too old and shit. But you know what I'm saying? Like you give somebody something to do. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, thanks to creative uses, I got a giveaway to give away too. So it's like everybody kind of wins in that scenario. I got some gear to give away and shit. So yeah, everybody can tune in and you know what I mean? We have a little fucking blast and shit. Y'all want to get drunk? Y'all want to do y'all thing? Y'all do y'all. And we just fucking hold it down. You know what I'm saying? Do it for hip hop. But yeah, we figure it all out, man. We talk. We got 2 weeks or whatever the case or whatever you want to say. You know what I mean? But definitely want to make sure you want to do that. And we move forward with that shit. But
Absolutely.
but yeah, I'm about to hop off this, but yo, I definitely want to say I appreciate your time, bro, because I know, like you said, it's like 4 o'clock over there, which is fucking crazy. Like, I can't even make it past 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock no more. Like, so I can only imagine 4 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely appreciate everything you do for hip hop, man. I appreciate all the projects you've done, and you know what I'm saying. You seem like a pretty good dude, man. So like, I appreciate what you do in general. You know what I'm saying? But
Appreciate that,
definitely.
bro. Thanks for having me, man.
No doubt. You
That's
got any shout outs you want to give me shit?
Yeah, I give a shout out to everybody, you know, everybody down with the Beau Fat movement. You know, I mean, like, I always, you know, I hate giving shout outs because, you know, I always keep forgetting people. You know, it's not on purpose, you know, it's not intentionally. It's 4 o'clock in the morning and I work with so many people. If I give a shout out to one, I have to give a shout out to another too. Like, and there's so many, you know. So everybody working with me, you know, I mean, I appreciate y'all, man. Much love. And yeah, man, you know me, we talk every day and it's all good, you know. And thanks to you, brother. I mean, it means a lot to me that you know, that you asked me to hop on your show and shit, you know. It's always dope talk to people, man. I love that shit, you know. I mean, I could talk all day, you know, when it comes to hip hop or whatever, movies and shit like that, you know. Yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
no
yeah.
doubt. No doubt. Yeah, definitely appreciate you,
Especially,
bro.
especially, I want to say if I can say one thing is, I know some heads like seem to be always in trouble online. You know what I mean? I say, you never see me online. You never see me arguing online. You know what I mean? Because I think it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, but just that's waste of time, waste of energy. Just do your thing, do your music, whatever you do. You know what I mean? But don't waste your time like beefing online and all that shit. You know what I mean? Like it's like I said, what for? You know what I mean? If for me a beef is if we outside and you stand in front of me and like want to fight me or whatever, that's a different thing, you know. But online shit is ridiculous, man. You can write anything on the computer and say anything and nothing will happen to you unless you know, unless you meet the person for real, like you know. But how many times that happened? Almost never, you know. So it's just waste of time and all this bickering and talking and this and that and like I mean hip hop. I mean this style of hip hop we do is already, if you look at it, at music or at hip hop music, rap music. It's already weird. Now boom bap is a minority, you know, in the world of music, you know. It has not been like this in the 90s, but now it's really like boom bap is like we're the last survivors that era, you know. I mean, there are some younger heads loving their boom bap and all that, but it's not the majority, you know. Then you have to go with trap music or drill music or whatever, you know. And I don't even disrespect that music, you know. That's probably the same. Like when we came out with when we was doing boom bap in the 90s and it was new, maybe the old heads then was saying the same shit, maybe, you know, like, or you know. So it's just the evolution, you know. But it is different, the new music. It is simple. It's just like TikTok, like, you know. TikTok is like a little bit the mirror of society nowadays, you know. It's just simple. It's you know, TikTok what's the point of TikTok, to be honest? Like, you know, are you on TikTok? Are you on TikTok?
Unfortunately, my ass got into it recently, but yeah, I don't understand. I don't even fuck with Twitter because I don't understand what the fuck all this is about. I have my MySpace.
Twitter.
You know what I mean? I had my MySpace. I was cool with my shit, and they done fucking brought all this other bullshit. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. I don't know what I'm supposed to be on. Like, I got 5 different pages and 5 different fucking things, so I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to be doing anymore.
That's why I only fuck with Facebook and Instagram at the moment. Sometimes I have moments that I want to actually don't use Facebook at all, but then I always come back like after 2 days and go back to it, like, you know, because you have so many people on there, like some of them not on Instagram, I don't know. But Twitter, I don't understand Twitter. I don't understand the point of Twitter. And TikTok, that's for me, that's like kind of retarded. Like I was looking at it and I was like, nah, no, come on, that's more work. It's even more work, you know. It takes time away from making actual music, you know what I mean? Like, so. But yeah, but I guess that's also time, you know. It is what it is, you know. I have to accept it. But like I said, man, like trap music or whatever, all that kind of music, I don't hate it, you know. I mean, I don't listen to it too much, actually, never. But sometimes, no, it's a lie. You know, when I work in the morning in a bakery, so probably most of the times before the bakery opens, I have to prepare. I bake all this shit and. So I listen to music there, right? Sometimes I listen to like a radio show and they play a lot of like trap, but not like the hardcore trap stuff. I don't even know how to differ, you know, what is what. It's more the more chill stuff, you know. It's not that like aggressive stuff, you know. But I like that, you know. You can listen to it. It's not too bad, you know. Most of the times I listen to my good old 90s, wherever. Premiere tapes or whatever, you know, like, but yeah.
Yo, I'd rather be driving that street blasting some Michael Jackson than blasting trap music. To be honest,
definitely. That's true. I do that too. I listen to like 70s, whatever, you know. Sometimes I listen to some crazy jazz shit too, you know. You know, I'm when it comes to music, because I'm a producer, I listen to everything a little bit just to get ideas, you know, sometimes to hear something. Wait until you hear the Danku and Young Z album. I sampled something. If they figure this out, I mean, if that shit would blow up, I mean, I'm not scared about sampling shit, you know what I mean? Because who am I, right? I mean, nobody knows me like that. I'm not big. Like, you know, the danger is like when you really make it, like, but then if you make it somehow, then you also got the backup to clear a sample and shit, you know what I mean? But I sampled something on that album. As we'll see what happens.
Well, see, now you got me all intrigued. Now I definitely want to hear it.
I'll tell you in private, though. You know what I mean? I'll tell you. I'll show it to you in private, though. But yeah. It's crazy. Because you know the song is all about love and a little bit. I think that song came out in the 80s. That's all I'm saying. I don't say name, but the song came out in the 80s around Christmas time. And no, it's not Wham. It's not the Last Christmas, but it's about love and all that. And I made, and I got Young Z, and you know Young Z, right? You know what he talked about, all that. You got the crazy lyrics and all that shit, and Danko too. So that mix is crazy though. That's all I'm saying.
I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to hear it now, man. You got me intrigued. This shit. Word. But yeah, once again though, man, I appreciate you being on, man. It was late over there and shit. We gonna do a follow-up when you drop more stuff. We're gonna talk more and more. This ain't the final. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep talking this shit outside of everything else. But I'm gonna wrap this shit up though. I'm gonna talk to you after we done with this though. I definitely appreciate you once again. Appreciate what you're doing for the hip hop. Make sure everybody follows you on. Well, you said no Twitter, so so Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Instagram, no TikTok, but Instagram, and yeah, definitely on your YouTube and shit. Definitely make sure you follow. I'm gonna drop this on YouTube it's Sunday, so. Once I drop it and shit, everybody could rewatch the interview and go back through it and all that. So, but yeah, once again, the announcement, we are October 28th. That's when we're gonna be doing
28th, yeah, October 28th. Tune in.
Yeah.
We go all live then. Thank you, brother, for having me on your show once again too. And yeah, man, I'll talk to you soon.
No doubt, brother. I'll talk to you in a few minutes.
All right, brother.
All right, bro. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, that was the homie Beau Fat. Yo, yeah, make sure to follow him and whatnot. I'm gonna drop this video on YouTube Sunday. Make sure you follow him, check out his latest releases. Make sure you check out his Spotify too. We got mad shit on there. Cop the vinyl, cop the albums, you know what I'm saying? Support real motherfucking hip hop, man. You know what I mean? If you got enough money to buy a motherfucking pair of Jordans, buy some motherfucking albums. Just saying. Shout out to the sponsors, you know what I mean? The family, Creative Juices Music, of course, the Snowgoons, Smiley the Ghetto Child, Vinyl Frontier, Blaze 'em Up Radio, Elite Sound International, yada, 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 all the fam, you know what I mean? I appreciate all y'all for supporting the show and shit. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube as well for all the past interviews, etc. And peace and blessings. I will check y'all next weekend. Peace.